Come away, O human child, to the waters and the wild, with a fairy hand in hand, for the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. These are the words of the Irish poet William Butler Yates. When we are babies and we arrive in this world, we have no plans, no map, no burdens, no fears, no thought of the future, and everything is exciting and new. A baby has no judgment and does not feel judged. A baby doesn't even know the word freedom or the meaning of freedom, yet it is free. As we get older, many lose a sense of freedom. Do you ever feel or have this feeling of dread, of absolute overwhelm, when everything is completely out of your control, and you just feel completely overwhelmed and controlled by it, and you just don't know how to get out of it or how to become free from it? It is a fragile life. We live on a threshold where anything can happen and where we very much need to be comforted with that which offers us hope and steers us to trust. When everything becomes fragile and we become overwhelmed, we can easily lose our true sense of self. We can lose our courage. We can become helpless. And from my very own experience, it is during these times that we need more than ever to feel the bliss of the blessings of this life again. It's so very easy to let everything else take over and to forget to take care of ourselves.
So we can't not have a poem by the great William Wordsworth on a day like today, where we're walking amongst the beauty of the woodlands, the greenery and the new life all coming through, and the daffodils that are everywhere. So I'm going to read his poem titled Daffodils. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart fills with pleasure, fills and dances with the daffodils. It's one of my favourite poems because I'm so lucky to be here, and there are daffodils everywhere in my village and through this forest. And obviously Wordsworth lived not too far from here. When you see the daffodils, they've got these yellow heads that are just dancing and looking at you as if they're smiling at you as you walk past. But what's really beautiful is how he captures the quality, the beauty, the innocence, the friendliness, the joy of something so delicate, yet it can bring so much goodness and joy to our hearts just by seeing it. And daffodils don't last a great length of time. But the favourite part of this poem for me is when he says, "For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood." So he's telling us here that he goes into a stillness, into a quiet place, into a space where there are no thoughts. They flash upon the inward eye, which I take to be the third eye, the inner sense, that which sees everything, which is the bliss of solitude, that comes to a place of complete bliss, quietness and peace. And then my heart with pleasure fills, because when you're in that quiet space and you can sense everything within, your heart just fills with joy. And at that point he then dances with the daffodils, because he can capture it within himself, because everything comes from within. So even though we're in this beautiful place, and nature is just such an amazing connection to bring us back to that stillness, we can remember it when we come to the stillness ourselves, how much we're all connected, how everything is perfectly connected. And once we come to that place where we gain that sense of connection, how can our heart not but feel joy?
There was one particular time in my life, for over a period of years, when I was in a situation that was extremely difficult and challenging to come away from. I really didn't want to believe that there could be something so dark, or someone could ever be so dark themselves, especially someone that I loved. I wanted to believe in goodness. The way that I got through that situation was to find my own strength and my own power again, to not allow that situation to take away my feelings of love or strength, or to destroy my spirit. It was extremely difficult being someone who was gentle to then being placed into a time that was so dark. During dark times, I found that I had to really be with myself completely and do the things that made me feel at peace, that brought me to an inner stillness. I had to become my own haven, and then answers to the situation would often arise. Certain practices, poetry, art, music, being in nature and being with nature, brought great comfort, solace, and healing to my soul and to my spirit. They've always been my greatest healers, and they've always given me the greatest sanctuary for my spirit. I find that just by going for a walk, taking the time, being by yourself and taking deep, deep breaths, walking feet upon the ground, one by one slowly. Simple things. These things can really save us. We each have to do what feels right for us to bring us back to a feeling of peace again. Please never allow any person or any circumstance to destroy your light or take away your peace and ruin your good nature. I feel that no one can truly take away your power unless you allow them to. I realized from my very own experience that suffering is something that we all unfortunately go through in different ways. But it's how we get through it and how we then survive it and how we then live our lives by it in spite of it This is what matters. I believe that it is about how we perceive all that comes to us that determines everything. My life has not always been this easy or as simple. I have faced adversity a number of times in my life. My husband and I, my family and I, have made very big sacrifices, and we've taken huge risks to move to where we are now, to live this much more simple life here in the Lake District. From all the experiences, it seems a path has been laid out before me. It's clear to me now that I cannot control others or what they do and what goes on in this world, but I can control what I do and how I do it and what takes place in my world. I have a choice as how to be, and I really feel this will affect not only me, but those around me. It is my decision what imprint I will leave upon this earth. Just like walking through the forest, so full of life and beauty. I can choose how I see it, how I treat the forest, and how I walk upon this path, and how I treat all of the plants and all of the creatures that meet me upon this path. It is my choice. It is always my choice of how to be in every moment. I want to connect with everything, yet cause no harm to anything. For I decided a long time ago that during the times in my life when I experienced such unkindness, cruelty, sorrow and pain, that I never ever wanted to hurt anything or cause them the same pain that I once suffered. Why would I ever want to hurt anything when I have known such pain and sorrow? I really feel that by walking a path of gentleness and compassion offers me, in return, a gentle life. So I try my best. It is all that we can each do to treat everything kindly, gently, and with gratitude, for I am so grateful to be here. I often have this little feeling, or maybe it is a wish or a hope, that all of this, that by doing my best to be kind and gentle, makes a difference on an unseen but also a seen level. For everything exists, and everything has a right to exist, for we all coexist here. Therefore, what we each do must truly matter. That's what I believe anyway. Isn't there enough hardship in this world? All of the suffering and pain that we hear about and know of. And just by looking at ourselves, our ways, and how we can make ourselves feel better, maybe the start of helping others and the world to feel better too. If I can be gentle with myself, kind, compassionate with others and my surroundings, then in my heart, this for me makes my world a more gentle place to be. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could treat all living things, whatever comes to us, with gentleness and compassion, knowing that it will soon pass on and soon pass by? And we can try our best to take nothing for granted, allowing everything to be. This is my secret. At the end of my days here on this physical plane, I just want to know that I loved with all of my heart as much as I could possibly love. Thank you all for being here. It's lovely to know that you're here with me. I really appreciate you, and I so hope that you appreciate yourselves too. Remember, you are truly amazing. Wishing you a lovely day or night. May it be filled with beautiful and precious moments of love. Lots of love to you all.